to Satan, okay? We got Dr. Vishnu, Lars, Sean, Jackie, Tim. I'm going to try to shut up now and go to your calls and try to just get myself under control right now. Sean in Arizona, you're on the air worldwide. Welcome.
Welcome, Alex. Don't feel too badly. I kind of let the talking heads cloud my vision a little bit when in my heart I always knew that the corporate fascist state would absolutely not allow this legislation to be overturned. We have to remember on a sad day for freedom and liberty, such as today, that our forefathers actually rested with the people, meant the people to be the last arbitrators of what was constitutional and not constitutional.
That's right. Juries, grand juries, and the people. But now they've put in electronic voting machines. There's not elections in most areas. We've got to admit we have a criminal government arming to the teeth against us that works for foreign banks. It is illegitimate. Those aren't just words. It is. It is. It's criminal and evil.
Absolutely. Lincoln said it best. He said the people are both masters of the courts and Congresses, not to overthrow the Constitution, but to overthrow the men who pervert it. For 2 weeks, I wanted to get one quote on that will just shake us to the bone, and today is as great a time as ever, and I'll end this with this quote, if you will allow me, because it is absolutely apropos to where we're at and what you're trying to wake up our fellow citizens at. The quote starts as follows: "If you will not fight for the right when you can easily win without bloodshed, if you will not fight when your victory will be sure and not so costly, you may come to the moment when you will have to fight with all the odds against you and only a precarious chance for survival. There may be yet a worse case. You may have to fight when there is no chance of victory, because it is better to perish than to live as slaves."
Winston Churchill. Yeah, that's a good quote, and he said that on the radio. And no, that's it. That's what I've explained to people. This isn't a game, folks. They really do put cancer viruses in the vaccines. They're killing us. Look at the numbers. I mean, this is real. This isn't a game. And we have a childlike public who has no idea. Amazing call, amazing points that you just made. That's why I get so enraged when people like P-Brain call in and just sit there and go, "Oh, yeah, I like it. Oh, it's loving. It's No, it's not. No, it's not. They said there wasn't death panels in there when they're in there. These boards that decide the health care you get. They're killing all these babies. To them, they think it's funny. You're going to get destroyed. Let me tell you, all of you cockroaches that love this system and all you slobs and all you control freaks, this thing's going to collapse. You understand that? It's designed to kill you. That's the sick part about it. The New World Order is a bunch of trash, but those of you that go along with this, you deserve what you get. So I hope you enjoy it. Let's go ahead and talk to Jackie in Montana. You're on the air. Go ahead.
Hi, Alex. I've got a couple of points here. One, well, maybe three. First, I thought we were supposed to be represented before we're taxed. I don't feel represented at all.
That's right. No taxation without representation. That's one of the things that started 1776. Exactly. We don't have representation. Look, we pay the money directly to the bankers that own the insurance companies, and their enforcer, the Federal Reserve, they set up the same year they got the IRS. We pay it to them. We pay it. They tell us we're slaves. They tell us to our face.
Well, I tell you what, I'm feeling like one. But another thing is the tax, the supposed tax. From what I'm understanding, it wasn't sent to the proper place to even be...
they had that witch in there, Kagan, at the White House before he made her Supreme Court justice. She was at the corporate meetings running it with the bankers and the insurance companies to write the screw job. That's illegal, too. It's illegal to ship guns into Mexico to drug cartels and ship cocaine in. It's illegal for the UN to kidnap little kids all over the world and fly them into Saudi Arabia to blow their heads off on videotape. But they sure do it, because we're a bunch of naive idiots. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I got two other things real quick. I've brought this up on Twitter before, and that's the fact that Spain's going to be counting our votes. How are we going to be able to verify or know that they're being counted properly?
It's all fraud. Look, it's illegal in all the statutes to have Congress or anybody else insider trading. And then they had the media come out right before healthcare to blackmail them. And oh, look, they're all insider trading. And then they let them come out and say, oh, it's legal when we do it because we said, and the media went along with that. They're just criminals. They're dirt. They're scum. They're trash. They're evil. They're going to eat us out of house and home. They've sent forth scores of bureaucrats to eat out our substance. Dr. Vishnu, Lars, Tim, and others, your calls are coming up straight ahead. But, I mean, look, folks, my anger and rage is the normal response. The IRS that has the code written so you can't pay them correctly, so they can change it whenever they want to rip you off and get penalties and interest. They're now going to do this with health care and have your medical records. I mean, my Lord, this is horrible. A little over a year ago, I began to do... That's why the IRS is trying to get laws passed, looks like it may pass, to not let you leave the country if they say you owe money. They just flip a switch, can't leave the country. The bankers can steal whatever they want, do whatever they want, ship drugs in publicly, laundered $376 billion in 2 years at Wells Fargo. No problem. Nobody gets in trouble. It's all just part of the criminal system. We have criminals running things. And it's the same bankers worldwide wrecking every country to get control. That's the name of the game. Because I've thought about getting out of here. At least if I moved out of the United States, though, I wouldn't have to look at all the bureaucrats. And even in a third world country, the bankers have already blown everything out so bad, there's not cops every 5 feet and bureaucrats everywhere. I can go hide in the jungle or something. I'm just so sick of being around all this scum and knowing they're murderers and killers and drug dealers and having to watch these whores in the media push them as God's gift to the earth. I'm beside myself with anger. I know I keep saying that. I mean, I'm blowing up during the breaks here. I just am so angry. Dr. Vishnu in Florida, what's your take on our new doctor, the IRS and the Federal Reserve, that controls our bank accounts and everything else? Very nice people. I'm sure they'll be nicer once the cashless society's in, though. What's your take on our new government-run health care?
Well, to be honest, Alex, I'm absolutely beside myself. I don't get this. This is absolute and total tyranny. When you have no control of your body anymore, and the government has to tell you what to do and how to live, how to be born, how to die, it's a problem. It's a big problem. And 98% of my patients here in Central Florida are geriatric patients, and I deal with them holistically, and I'm constantly having to get rid of the problems that they have due to the vaccines, the yearly flu shots they take in, and they have no clue. And on top of the fact that I have 4 children who have never been vaccinated, who were born at home, and I see my heart just falls every day to see their friends dealing with ADD, dealing with multiple immune system breakdowns due to the multiple vaccinations.
Look at the numbers. Cancer off the charts, neurological, they're killing us. And we know they are. It's not like it's our opinion. We have all the documents. I mean, they're killing off the old people. They say it in Time Magazine and Newsweek, how they're scum and need to be gotten rid of. I mean, it's so sick. And then you get some control freak calling up going, government wants to help us, and I think it's good. It's liberal. No, it's not.
Especially, I believe, when you see what's going on during flu season, when they're putting the ads out. They're having the placards out in front of Walmart and CVS and Walgreens. Come in, get your flu shot. Got to have your flu shot.
Now everywhere I go, I walk down the street, it's like every 5th child or whatever, looks like it's just blasted with autism. Just, you can, doing all the autistic tics and things. You just feel sorry for them. And it'll be a good-looking kid, too. Nice parents. You just realize, enemy attacked them. And then some cop drives by looking at you like you've done something wrong. And I know I'm not saying the cop himself is bad, but I'm like, hey, they just brain damaged this kid. I'm sick of it. I mean, that's why I get so angry. I get so angry at the system and some moron TSA person asking me where I'm going and stuff, to like get me used to being talked to, acclimating me. And I'm just like, shut up, idiot. Your bosses carried out the attacks, you scumbag pedophile. I'm sorry, Doc. Anything else?
No problem. Well, there are two things I just want to mention. I think your work with Dr. Wallach is profound. It's great stuff. His stuff is great. I know him, his work for a long time. And secondly, I believe that if the public at large just look at what's already out there, there's an organization, it's nonprofit, it's called the National Center for Homeopathy. They're in every county in the United States. You can learn how to take care of your family using simple, non-toxic homeopathic remedies.
Exactly. That's what this is all about. Even if you don't into that stuff, there's the herbalists, there's all of it. And it's all under attack by this medical tyranny run by the banks who created and financed this model of medical tyranny. They wrote the whole deal. They did the whole deal. We're going to be talking about that, by the way, in the next hour. I didn't have it planned that way for the ruling to come down today. But they sure dropped this on us like a ton of bricks. I physically feel assaulted. I don't think anything has upset me this much except for 9/11 that day. I knew it was coming, and I saw him do it, and I knew everything that was going to come after it. And it's just total confirmation. And I knew they were going to rule this way, and they sucker punched everybody so that there wouldn't be opposition built to it, so everybody would just kind of shut up and go along with it. It's all psych war chiefed. It's all coordinated at the top. The Republicans and Democrats. They might give us a sacrificial lamb politically of Eric Holder, but I doubt that because he knows where all the bodies are buried. OKC, you name it. But we will continue on after this quick break, ladies and gentlemen. Prisonplanet.tv, Infowars.com. I'm Alex Jones. This is the GCN Radio Network, GCNlive.com. We've got a guest, a whistleblower, coming up, too, after this break for about 30 minutes, and we'll continue with your calls and the rest of it. But this is a dark day for this country. Very, very dark day for this country. The murdering, killing eugenicists are now in full control of healthcare.
We're on the march.
All right, my friends, if this is what you want, this is what you get. 130,000 elderly patients killed every year by death pathway, claims leading UK doctor. And they make the decision to not give them health care, people that have mild problems, and kill them. And if you don't have family taking care of you, the state grabs you, takes you to hospice. I'm not saying all hospices are bad, but they use them to euthanize people. And they pump a bunch of opiates right into your bloodstream, and bye-bye. Elderly patients help to die to free up beds, warns doctor. National Health Service. I mean, boy, let me tell you. You ever had to go to a Social Security office if you lost your Social Security card? You ever had to go to a government facility? And just, isn't it great? Isn't it wonderful? Isn't it just good? I'm going to get back into that later. Joining us is a whistleblower. The article is Media Whitewashes Olympic Security Scandal. Revelations about casket liners. Plan for evacuation of London blacklisted. We'll just call him Lee, but he's an investigative journalist. He first brought this story to the national media. They didn't want to cover it and said that there's a blackout. They've since, he came out on, did get on news radio in England with Tony Gosling, who has his own show, Bilderberg.org, who's a great journalist. Once he was able to go on that show, there's now been some whitewashing about, there are some stuff happening. But basically, it's designed to fail. And just like we broke the plan for martial law in Chicago and evacuation